clear departure car as well.
The officers are actually busy arranging the codes for conversion. We are actually converting 5 lorry lanes for car clearance, and we are left with 1 lane purely to clear lorries. As you can see on my left, the lights have turned green, meaning to say that the officers are ready to start clearing cars.
During a long weekend, because we are facing a huge crowd either for departure or arrival traffic, perhaps there is a tendency for travellers to want to take this opportunity to do some smuggling or some negative behaviours. They may think that officers are distracted.
It's the eve of the long weekend, so people always have these expectations that it's always the departure side that will experience heavy traffic. But actually here at Arrival Cargo, it doesn't mean that we are relaxed. We do have our own high volume of traffic, especially these heavy vehicles like the lorries.
So this is a tool that we use to analyze our image to make sure that no contrabands or any unnecessary items coming in Singapore. Like for example, cigarettes, or guns, or any radioactive materials. Okay, actually thousands of lorries come into Woodlands every day. All the lorries are scanned. We have to make sure that every image is being hit within 10 seconds so that the lorries will not be too long. Boleh do an punch check for this vehicle number.
Image, send this image.
What's the consignment?
Packet drinks.
Packet drinks. The density of the image is a bit lighter on the front and denser at the back.
So when they find anomalies in the image, they need us as cargo SME to check further.
So the consignment for this based on our experiences, the drinks usually should be very dense and very heavy. So the whole consignment should be very dark as well. So this area is the darker density, and which is drinks. And over here at the front area, it's lighter than usual, and then it doesn't really look like drinks.
So we are escorting of the lorry to our referral place, and that's where, as a cargo SNE officer, we conduct our checks. It is troublesome when there is potential smuggling cases on a long weekend, and our manpower is stretched. Hopefully, it's not a smuggling case.
I'm quite confident that this is a smuggling case because this is not the density that we are looking for over here. Just looking at the image, you know that this is going to be a big case. Today is the eve of National Day. At the same time, it's also a public holiday on Sunday for Malaysia. So we are anticipating peak traffic for both departure and arrival.
I think the queue starts to build up soon. I think my area of concern is the glass door lah. Once the queue reaches the glass door, I need you guys to stop the pack from coming in.
Flush all the travellers to take the stairs. Don't want travellers to be on the escalator, especially when the glass door is really full. Then there's no space to go in. I don't want any travellers to be there. It's a safety concern. We were discussing the more important points to take note of for peak traffic. It can be very challenging. So when the human traffic crowd inside the departure bus hall has really spilled over to outside the departure bus hall, there will be a need for us to stop the human traffic from coming into the departure bus hall. Based on past experiences, we have dealt with peak traveller volumes that can reach about 500,000. Rizal, don't mind proceed back to post. As an FRT officer, we have to be moving
lot. We also project our presence over at the different zones at Woodlands Checkpoint. Just make sure that the travellers don't push each other. So right now, one thing we are afraid of is if there are not enough buses that are coming at the concourse, the crowd, as you can see, will go all the way up to the stairs and then people start pushing. We don't want an occasion whereby travellers fall into problems such as stampede.
So earlier on, we detected the anomalies in the lorry and we suspect that it could be a potential smuggling case. Our resources are stretched because of the long weekends, and so it's not a good time for a suspected smuggling case.
Basically, my target here is based on the image. I'm going to target from the front of the container itself and try to focus there first. The box different from the packaging.
Let's open it up.
We found contraband packed in a different packaging. So as you can see, the packaging that was supposed to be the consignment is this, but we saw a different packaging. We can see that there's actually more than 10 boxes of this from the surface.
We only see contraband cigarettes, but we never know it could be other contraband item as well. So we're going to drive this lorry to do a thorough check for extraction. How close?
The lorry driver needed to be handcuffed is because we have detected contrabands inside the consignment. So in case that contrabands can be actually thrown away, if the subject is not being looked at, they can just take out and just throw it somewhere and then say it's not mine. Outro, lockdown, OPC ban. I think we're saying 01 lorry, block B.
Fuck man, 真的。
So by escorting this lorry, we have to ensure that the zone itself is being locked down by the offshore. This is to minimize the cases of maybe lorry drivers driving out of the zone itself. Locking down actually affect the traffic because vehicles are stagnant. At cargo zone itself, on a normal day, we clear thousands of lorries. They're a very high number every day. Even though escorting may take a short period of time, this can actually affect a lot with the traffic itself. So this makes us want to get this lockdown and escorting as quick as possible. So the escorting of the lorry has been done and we can now lift the lockdown of the zone and traffic can resume as per usual. As you can see, the suspect is actually just around where we are going to extract the items. This is to prevent any accusation or contamination of the extraction.
So the plan is I will go. At least 2% actually, Brian. Okay, Ili? You must support her a bit. You must beside her lah because we need your arms lah. Make sure it's on the ground, then you just pass.
What we're doing now is we are doing a full out extraction, making sure that all the contrabands are extracted from the lorry itself. So it's important for us to make sure that we have our body worn camera on. This is part of SOPs. Yes, there will be a sign of excitement to see how many actually is in there.
As we know, the consignment is actually brings, so it's not easy, it's very heavy, and we need a lot of manpower to extract this item.
Exhausted, but at the same time, I feel like fulfilling because I managed to extract contraband. This is one of my biggest cases. My pen there.
Sham you
Sam.
to set up the snake queue in the queue post.
Right now, the time is about 3:15 p.m. A lot of travellers are streaming in. Due to the eve of public holiday, we are clearing more than 8,000 travellers per hour. Lockdown already? Lockdown already? Okay. Parking on site?
Proceeding to.
Who's on the ground? Thomas? For every panic alarm activation, we have to treat it very seriously because it could be a potential dash through incident. Secure balik ke? Okay, go ahead, yellow body. Do it, yellow body. Do it, yellow body. How? Secure or not? The first moment when panic alarm is activated, we will lock down the checkpoints. We actually voiced it up so that our officers on the ground, everyone is aware that we are locking down the checkpoint. We will seize all forms of clearance. This includes any travellers, any vehicles, any forms of conveyances from being cleared through our counters. No one will be able to undergo any form of clearance. All counter officers are instructed to stop their clearance procedures until further instructions. Next up, back. The lorry hitting the barrier triggered the panic alarm. We have to quickly produce up all the CCTV footages, place the playback of what exactly happened. FRT on site.
Our FRT guys are at 1 over.
Oh, Sergeant, all points, release. Except forward, MC. Okay, ready, okay, release on down. Resume cannons. Once we have established the area that the panic alarm was activated for, we can actually release or we can uplift the lockdown for other areas of the checkpoint just to alleviate the traffic. But of course, going back to the zone itself, the driver will be detained. We will normally get hold of both the vehicle as well as the driver to investigate fully what exactly happened. Of particular interest to us would be, was there any intention to evade clearance? Earlier on, we had our minor lockdown that was primarily isolated to our cargo zone only. But subsequently after that, we had our panic alarm activation that affects the entire checkpoint. Really hope that we don't have any more lockdowns because of the traffic that we are currently having right now. We had our lockdown that locks down the entire checkpoint. So all this happening adds that a bit of stress to how we are working in the ops room, especially so on the eve of a public holiday. Secure vehicle. Open up the roof for the visible. 046. So we have the full facts of what happened. So look at the cursor here. This is the drop-arm barrier. The lorry actually drives through the drop-arm barrier, and the drop-arm barrier has not raised up. So when they drive through the drop-arm barrier, that actually activated the panic alarm. We will get hold of both the vehicle as well as the driver to investigate fully. After our standard questioning, we have established that it was purely unintentional. There was no malicious intent in this case. There was no security angle for this case. We will let the driver go. But of course, with regards to whether the damage to the drop-arm barrier, this will be dealt with separately. We will normally charge if there's any damages to our government property. So now we resume our normal operations for the day. And this is one of our operators that's running on looping service at our checkpoint. If the CW buses are delayed, we don't have enough buses to move travellers out of our checkpoint. You can go here, don't take the lift up, then you can find the
You have to match the CW clock. I mean, they're already standing in two lines. You just make sure they're safe on the staircase, yeah. You just make sure they don't start pushing from the top of the staircase.
It is definitely affecting our clearance speed and subsequently affecting traffic. Is the in-situ tow truck activated? Yes, activated. Once we have some sense making from the officers on the ground, we will activate our in-situ tow truck to the incident area to tow the vehicle out on the track as soon as possible.
Rakib, understood. Oh my god, join the queue! The queue is over here, look! Go over there! Go over there! Go over there! Oh, you don't look away, I saw you come here. You go join the back. You go and join the back. Whenever there's an incident that happens along the causeway, this can cause a domino effect. If these travellers become rowdy, we will definitely have to check on them because they could potentially be a threat to security at the checkpoint. We don't want a scenario where the people crossing into each other's queues and lines. It definitely can cause arguments. So in the worst case scenario, it can lead to fights.
Our tow truck that's within the checkpoint is unable to deal with breakdown lorries. So you have to activate a bigger tow truck. And normally they will come like 30 minutes to 1 hour. Such tow trucks actually utilize our staff lane wherever possible, then they can circumvent the heavy traffic. The breakdown lorry causes a bit of build-up on our arrival side of the causeway. So obviously when the breakdown lorry has been moved out by the big tow truck, that helps to smoothen up a little bit on our arrival side. We will continue to monitor the traffic, the traveller volume on the ground and change our strategies as and when the travel volume or the traveller peaks have died down.
Has more or less stabilized. I wouldn't say completely died down, but it's way more manageable than just now. This is the world's busiest land crossings. Whenever we have this peak traffic, it can be one of the hardest things. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to go through this.
We have a breakdown car, we have a few breakdown lorries.
For the earlier panic alarm incident, one of our officers attended to the incident, and while doing so, she fell down and she was injured in the process.
We had to activate our controlled release operations at several of our critical points. Yeah, very tiring shift.
Any of the queue posts you want me to open? Games, you've got nothing already. Thanks, brother. I'll see you. Bye. It's the end of the shift. It got very tiring for a lot of us, but I think at the end of the day, everyone's safe. I'm more than happy to finish a shift like this.
see if there's any modification done to the vehicle. Kereta ni abang seorang drive ke ada yang lain drive?
Tapi biasa memang saya lah.
Mak, yang dalam tok ni semua ada cat lah. Boleh tolong buka tak? Just wanted to ascertain if they are bringing in any prohibited items. So I was looking out for some tender indicators to see if they have been engaging in some sort of illegal activities, for example, consumption of drugs, which is actually an offence lah, whether or not you are inside or outside of Singapore. Okay, all good. Okay, abang beg boleh simpan balik dalam kereta. No checks, no offence to anyone. Most of the people who go in and out, they understand we're already in a area where you're subjected to checks. We do checks just to make sure that prohibited items don't end up entering Singapore. So the long weekend is finally over. It's been pretty hectic, but it's a brand new day, brand new shift. Our work still goes on as per usual.
There you go.
How many person? Which one?
3, and it's the first passport.
Alright, thank you. So basically at the moment we are attending to one referral case. That one I cannot disclose. vehicles that pose a higher risk will potentially be flagged out and be referred to us for enhanced checks. What time you entered JB just now? 3-ish? Afternoon. So I'll just move on to check your bag, yeah? Open the bag. Okay. Is it open? Yeah, it's open. You know that Malaysia cigarette cannot bring in, right?
I don't know. I thought open doesn't have one bag.
No. So you can sit down first. Just take a seat first, so the driver just will have to check, Malaysia cigarette cannot bring in. You know that, right? Yeah, whether you smoke or never smoke, open or unopened, it still cannot bring in. It's a misconception that people have. Yeah. Common things that I will usually detect is cigarettes from Malaysia. It doesn't follow the standardized packaging set by Singapore customers. Be it one box, one carton. So generally the misconception that people tend to get is that one box, open up, take out one cigarette, 19 sticks, still can bring in. So the answer is no. So another common detections that we also get is vapes. This one?
Yeah, so it's thinking like maybe some individual inside.
Based on my experience, the detection of vapes has been quite increasing. For vapes, I would say it's easier for them to hide because it doesn't have the sharp edges. Take credit for this lah. Yeah, because it's found in your car. Yeah, and you're the driver. That one we can ask the officer later. We actually found 3 open packets of cigarette and 1 e-vaporizer. As we found that they were in possession of cigarette and vapes, we actually directed them to the secondary office for further investigation. They may be jailed, or fined, or both. So, Absalom, when you may release Oscar 23, Tango. Our roles not only conduct checks on cars, but we also do checks on motorcycles as well. I drive, so I know what parts of the car to look at, but you ask me to check a motorcycle, I feel like it's more of a challenge for me because I'm not familiar with various motorcycle parts. This subject was actually flagged out for further checks after he completed his immigration clearance. Socks. What's inside the socks? Actually discovered that he had several concealed items inside his motorbike. So after questioning the subject, he admitted that the concealed items were cigarettes hidden in the socks.
No, besides cigarette, anything else?
Bila dah hantar, balik Malaysia baru dia kasi update.
So when you reach it, how did they know that you were there?
Awak pergi kedai tu, awak cakap dia taruh benda-benda ni semua. Jadi awak tak pernah nampak diorang buat apa dalam motor awak lah. Pernah nampak lah. Ni baru rokok bang. Belum jumpa barang-barang lain lagi. Kalau jumpa benda lain tak tahu awak balik ke tidak. Jakarta, 01 vehicle for scanning the detention yard. Cops room, don't mind, barrier 6. So it's about 5 a.m. We have actually moved the subject from our secondary office to detention yard to actually conduct a further scan on his vehicle. We have just activated the backscatter van, sort of portable scan on the motorcycle. But the backscatter van will take some time to arrive because it needs time to power up its functions.
Wind up your window. Just now what did you say? Just now what did you say? No, just now what did you say? What Chinese word? What Walang? Are you scolding me? Option. This is I got flex, but you don't need to. Then you say talk in Chinese, like scolding me like this. So then he taking photo of me. Okay, can. Can you please know that vulgarity was again?
This is my language. I talk to your wife.
By right, you should not take any photo lah.
You can now.
Wait for my office come.
This traveller was clearing at departure car and he took some pictures and videos of my colleague.
Okay, so just pull up the office for a while. Take up your seat. Okay, Mr. What? Yeah, what happened?
Wind out the window. Like the window already wind out.
Understand.
To remove
Dia tidak ada anak kita.
he did it halfway. So it is within our community and you should do it immediately. Then he say, like you see already mah. You like me later already.
Okay, just to check with you guys, did you guys took any photos in the midst of the event? Can I take a look? Can I take a lot of photos? Zul, can you get some footage first? Yeah. Your phone, your one.
So the vehicle you see at the back is actually our backscatter van. It's a mobile scanning vehicle. It will actually take images of the vehicle one side at a time. So total about 4 sides to get a complete image of the vehicle to see if there's any concealed items. So far, it's positive to have contrabands concealed within the motorbike.
Ni bawa. Bawa buka dulu. Open this one.
My favourite part is the extraction part of the operation. First of all, I get to go down and dirty on my knees. I get to dismantle the vehicle. Hey, socks lah.
Ni plastik.
Oh,
Dia macam buat simpan.
yep. During the initial part of the interview, basically